Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to the Distinct and Jovial podcast. My name is Dom. I am joined by my wonderful co-founder, finally, today.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing?
Yes, I've had better days, but I'm good. Unbelievable.
Young Mr. Jerry Everton decided that he got the wrong time. So, in his mind, he's an hour early. In our mind, he's 2 hours late.
Somewhere in the world, it's 2:00 in the afternoon. That's all I'm going to say.
And somewhere in the world, it's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Well, yeah, that's true. Somewhere in the world,
And
we're in between that.
Yeah, this is true. And we have the wonderful Fiona on again.
Yay! Welcome back.
So, yes, we are on episode 37. It's the 23rd of June. It's a good date, 23rd of June. Don't know why. It feels like a good date. And it's been, we worked it out. It's been, tomorrow will be exactly a year when you were last on the podcast, I think, Fiona, if I'm correct. That's what we just discussed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Yeah. That's honestly, I don't know why. I feel very thrown in this introduction. I'm going to blame you, Jerry, for everything that goes wrong today. It's your fault. Where it doesn't feel smooth, it doesn't feel chunky.
That's fair, Dom. I'll give you that.
Oh,
I still haven't opened the document yet. Still thinking about it. Google is still thinking about it.
Someone's on the document. Oh, Fiona, you're on the document. So yes, welcome. How are you doing, Fiona?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. Really well. It's
Yes.
lost quite a bit of weight this year, so back on track for getting back to running and all that kind of good stuff.
Yes, and I think today we're going to be discussing a little bit around, because you're now, we just said it's about 18 months into kind of a learning based new job role, and then we both I'm going on holiday like crazy soon, and I'm being on holiday, and you love holidays, so this is going to be all about vacations. Jerry's just going to be hanging on by the tailcoat feathers, I think, today.
And just listening to all of your holiday plans whilst
You
I've
keep
got
freezing.
nothing planned.
Yeah, I think, don't worry too much about that. Is the sound coming through okay?
Right.
Oh,
We can have some fun with the internet today. It's all Jerry's fault.
this is all my fault. Sorry. It's still loading
What
the
I'll do.
document.
I'm going to do that. So we won't be able to see each other, unfortunately. But I've just put it in low data mode, so that might help with the audio. So
Okay.
let me know if that audio is a little bit better.
Yeah, it definitely is at the moment.
Good.
Yep.
You still there, Jerry?
Yep. All clear. All good.
And you're now on 98% uploaded.
There you go. That's how I roll.
Oh, 99. Look at that. So this might be a bit of a scuffed podcast today, because we now can't see each other, because I've just enabled low data mode, because apparently low data is what we have here. I'm going to do the normal caveats, reminders, etc., that the views on this podcast are our own and don't represent the company or companies that we work for, and I will not be mentioning it. Thank you very much, Hooper, for making my life an absolute misery with the sheer number of edits that I had to do for the last podcast, but I hope that you enjoyed that one. Oh, dear. I don't know if, Fiona, you are up to date with our podcasts.
I am. I did have a little bit of a binge listen this week because I was a bit behind, but I've listened to all of them now, so yeah.
Yes, yeah. Hooper has set the bar for guests going forward, and we thought it'd be a bit cruel to ask you to come onto that bar, but all guests going forward, we are expecting that level of kind of enthusiasm onto the podcast. Cool.
Yeah, it was quite a hard act to follow, that one.
Yeah, it was definitely done a hard act to follow on that one.
92 plates takeover. That was
Yes, indeed.
That was legendary.
I still can't believe that you won that quiz free.
Without
With
any
help.
assistance whatsoever. I
Yeah,
would just like to
whatever.
point out, with no help at all. It wasn't
Apart from the
staged.
fact It was clear. I didn't cut anything out of that. I was not going to cut. Oh, let me just cut that section out where Jerry got a bunch of help.
Hoops just, it was just a bit of a nod and a wink. That's all it was.
Yes. Yeah.
Help me in the right direction.
Speaking of quizzes, though, what did you think of Fridays, Jerry?
Oh, the best quiz, hands down. And I'm gutted that you're not doing any more.
No.
For me, that was the best quiz. I loved it.
So for Fiona, you won't have known. So I ran the Winchester on Friday, just gone. And have you seen Richard Osman's House of Games?
House of Games, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So I basically did that. I ran that for the teams on Friday. But I also did you had to raise your hand. I didn't just stick them in a room and just get them to email answers. I made them do closest with sing when you win when they're singing. I made them do individual questions, and for Answer Smash, I made them pop their hand in the air and actually answer with it on the buzzer, which I thought was brilliant. So yeah, very different.
Dom, really well done.
Excellent.
I have to say, massive congratulations. That was
I've got a bunch of people with you actually, Jerry.
Sorry, say that again.
I've got a bone to pick with you.
Oh,
when you were talking about how many quizzes that you had done at the Winchester, you forgot that I did 3 of them.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I stood in when you and Steve were off.
You and I did a joint one. You and I did a joint one, didn't we?
If
you remember.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the one. It was one of the first ones where we actually played YouTube clips. Was that television introductions or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
30 seconds something of a television intro music or something. People had to guess what the program was. Or something like that. Something along those lines.
I do remember something like that where you'd play television intros, but you chose all the things from the 80s. So I ain't got to do.
Was it all 80s? I don't know if it was all 80s.
No, I think it was a good mix. There was a good mix, but it was nothing that that I was going to be on the button for, if I'm totally honest.
We didn't choose anything too obvious like Knight Rider, but we did go for
that
things like Howard's Way or something like that. I can't remember.
But we must have done Airwolf at some point, because I'm pretty sure I remember Chat Stevie T humming the Airwolf tune for about 6 weeks afterwards.
Yeah. That wouldn't have been when I was doing it, because I was doing it because Steve was away.
Yeah, that's true. Interesting.
I can't remember. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, these are probably during the pandemic. That shows up.
It was.
It was about 3 years ago. Yeah.
Was it in the first year? I think it was in the first year.
I've been gone 18 months.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it must have been in the first year then.
Yeah, I think so.
Although the pandemic...
And it was also, by the way, me who...
Go.
Have we lost Fiona? Dom, can you hear me?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. No, it was me who coined Be More Jerry as well.
Yes, that was it.
Yes, I remember that. That
was it.
Hashtag Be More Jerry.
Hashtag Be More Jerry. That's still going. Somebody said it again the other day.
Good.
Somebody that wasn't even at the time. Don't know where they got it from.
Really? How funny. Yeah.
They've only been here for about 6 months or 7 months. And they said, hashtag Be More Jerry. I was like, how did you find out about that? So I don't know. I just heard it.
Legend.
Somebody said it the other day. Yeah.
That was definitely on a group call at some point. Yeah,
it was.
Like a group functions or something like that.
Yeah. The small hands.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Well, the other thing that I've got on here, the last time that we recorded a podcast together, we were in the middle of a heat wave. So let's do the very British thing and talk about how wonderful the British weather is at the moment.
It's lovely out there.
At least it is this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've had like 4 months of March. It's just rained, and I hate it.
4 months. Hang on, 4 months of January.
The view out of my mum's flat. Well, yeah, but the view out of my mum's flat is over water meadows, and they've literally just dried up. Since the middle of December, you could have literally swum to Christchurch, which is like 8 miles down the road. It's absolutely flooded. And it has just dried up in the last 3 weeks or so. Incredible.
Really? Wow.
It's been underwater. Yeah.
No, I'm
not good.
I am not a fan of this weather. It's been like 4 months of March because it's not been too cold, but that's why I sort of said March. But it's just been 4 months of March, and it's just rained the whole time, and I don't like the rain. I want a dry.
You hate wind more though, don't you?
Yes, my argument is if it's raining and I can put an umbrella up and not get wet. If it's raining and it's windy and you put an umbrella up and your umbrella either turns inside out or you've got the umbrella up and you still get wet, what's the point?
That's very true.
Just throw me under the bus. I can't be arsed.
What if there's no rain but you've got gale force winds?
No, that sucks. Because you go out and then it's like, it's just wind everywhere, and if you haven't got a hat on, it burns your ears, and I just can't be dealing with it. I can't be dealing with the wind. And normally, because when I go camping, if it's raining and it's camping, it's okay, right? It's not great, but you can deal with it. But if it's windy and you're camping, like your tent flaps around like a madman, and you're just like, shut up. I haven't got the patience.
You can't really sleep. You can't sleep in that, can you? It's not easy to.
No, it's a lot more difficult. It's not. It's a lot more difficult. The only time it's a problem is if you need to get up to go in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. It's raining. That sucks. That's not the one.
It's really a bedpan.
Oh, well, that's why I have the bathroom in my tent.
Yeah, oh no, I can't be dealing with that. No.
You have a bathroom in your tent? Really? What, like a portable potty?
How does that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've got a 2-bedroom tent, so I've turned one of them into a bathroom. So I've got like a 4-man tent to myself. So I use the other bedroom as a bathroom.
Portable shower, wet room, spa,
wet room, a snooker room. You need a snooker table.
I haven't quite got a shower in there yet, but that's sort of the next stage.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that'd just be a big bucket in the floor, and that you.
Well, no, because you could like link it up and have a shower cubicle attached to the side. So you just walk out of the tent into the shower cubicle.
Yeah. I'm going to have to ask, Jerry, when was the last time you went camping, or have you ever been camping?
Oh, yeah, I used to go camping all the time. I haven't been for a long, long time, to be fair. And with camping, if you go for 2 days, basically just one night, it's okay. Anything more than that, and it starts to grate. So, I don't know.
I've got a full height inflatable bed as well, so it's like huge.
Yeah, I think 2 nights is maximum for me. I couldn't do any more than that. So you sort of feel a bit like a boil in the bag cod when it's hot weather. So about 6 o'clock, it kind of feels like you're in an air fryer or boil in the bag cod. And that's sort of like after not sleeping too well, because actually every single inflatable bed I've ever used has either been really uncomfortable or it's just deflated. At which point then you kind of wake up in the morning and you think, oh, I'm just so tired, I haven't slept, I can't wait to get back to my own bed. But then you make the most of the day, and then if you do a second night, that's okay. But I've done camping where it's been like 4 nights in a row, and that's been brutal. And I think the last time I went camping was for a long weekend. I think that was in Durdle Door.
Oh.
Yeah, which is very nice. It was beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but I was properly grumpy by the end of day 2 because I was so tired, and I knew I wasn't going to get any sleep on that second night, and I didn't. And then I knew I wasn't going to get any sleep on that third night, and I didn't. So then I was literally driving back like a zombie. So yeah, I do enjoy camping, I think, but it's one of those things which small doses works for me.
Small doses. Well, so I've just bought a replacement for an airbed because I am fed up of, because every year my airbed like goes down. I've never had an airbed survive. It drives me bananas. So that's what I've just bought. And you may be thinking, oh, that's quite nice. Right.
Oh, okay.
But then that's how thin it folds up. And next to it, comparatively, is the camping chair that I will take.
Oh, wow.
So, well, there's 2 there. So, yeah. And you can also see my recycling bins there.
Nice.
So that's like a spring.
So, yeah.
That's a spring mattress. Foam mattress with a springy base. Is that right?
Yeah, it's basically like a little foam mattress with like and the base is like, the best way I can describe it is it's exactly the same as the chairs. It's like got those. It's almost like a trampoline, but not spring. If you know what I mean. It's that mesh material that you use for a trampoline. But instead of springs, it's like just wires around it. If you know what I mean, to hold it in place. So it doesn't.
You don't jump into bed and then you spring back up again, and then jump back into it, and then spring back up again, and then jump back. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, at my height, people always go, "Oh, are you going to fit in that bed?" And it's no worse than my normal bed, other than the fact my normal bed is a double rather than a single. But yeah, I'll just stick I have a spare duvet that I take, or spare single duvet, which I put over the top, and then I put the bed sheet around that, and then I got some elastic bits to keep it all together, because otherwise it pings off at the night and you think you get tied up. Anyway, it's all a nightmare. But yeah, so I just sleep on top of that with my king size duvet, and yeah, feet will be dangling off the end, but they are in a normal bed. That's what happens when you're my ridiculous giraffe height.
You need a footstool at the end of the bed.
Yeah, I need a footstool, an ottoman.
An ottoman,
I need an ottoman, which nobody got.
You need an ottoman.
What one of the answers on Friday, Fiona, well, the only one that they didn't get, everyone didn't get, was who was the deputy prime minister between, I think it was 2002 and 1997 to 2005
or 5, yeah,
5-7,
like
and then there was a
The
picture
deputy what? Sorry,
of a deputy prime minister.
All right.
And then the picture was a footstool for Answer Smash, and nobody got it, which is obviously it's John Prescotterman to Answer Smash them together.
Ah.
And nobody got that. I was very surprised that nobody got that.
Because, you see, the only name that went through my head was Gordon Brown. And I knew it wasn't Gordon Brown, but I couldn't remember.
He was the Prime Minister for the second half of that, wasn't he?
Yeah, but at what point was he deputy? He was deputy at one point.
Gordon Brown. Gordon Brown was deputy before that, I'm pretty sure.
He was.
To Tony Blair up until 97.
Yeah, he was. But I couldn't remember. Yeah. I couldn't remember. But basically, I thought, I know it's not Gordon Brown, and then I couldn't remember John Prescott.
Yeah.
Ottoman.
John Prescotterman.
I just kept looking at that photograph going, it's a bloody footstool. Footstool. It's a footstool. Gordon Brown. Footstool. Going, Brown stool.
What? That sounds really dodgy, Brownstool.
Yeah, well, Brownstool, Gordon Foot.
Yeah.
I was like coming up with all the different combinations. So what the fringe is this?
Mind you, that could describe pretty much any politician, couldn't it? A Brownstool.
Well, that's very. I think it's a good common term for across the board. Apart from the Green Party, I think. I'm going to give the Green Party a break here.
I don't know. They've said some really dumb things in the lead up to this campaign.
That's because they know
I've
they're
been
not going to
watching
win.
a few things. Yeah. There's been a few where you're like, really? Just take a couple of seconds to think about that.
Everyone's going to get free ice cream! Yay!
Yay!
Are you sure? Is that really your manifesto?
Oh dear. And the other bit I had just on the introduction was, this is episode 37. So do you know what that means, Jerry? 37 podcasts.
Is it one more than 36 and one less than 38?
Well, this is the start of our
4th year.
4th year. Interesting
Yeah.
perspective. I was 29 when we started this podcast.
I was 27. Wow, this is our 4th year, Tom.
And I was
Yeah.
nearly as
No
ancient
way.
as I am now.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes.
4th year.
4th year.
No way.
Right, 4th year.
Yeah, I remember being gobsmacked when we got to year 1 and we were celebrating our 1-year
Yeah.
anniversary. I was thinking, oh, that's amazing. Then it's like 2 years, and then it's all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we're in our 4th year. That's cool. We've got loads more to do yet.
Done.
Done.
3 years.
Wow.
And the reason why Jerry was late to this podcast recording is because we've got set up now podcast recordings until November. But I did send him one in November for 2 p.m. So he thought today's recording was 2 p.m.
So bear in mind, I'm getting literally spammed by invitations going, podcast recording on this date. And so it's the last one that I saw, which I thought, oh, that's got to be for this Sunday. I thought was for 2 p.m. So I took the giant douche and the turd sandwich out to the paddock to have a play. And as I was in the car, Dom called me at 10:10. And at that point, I knew I'd messed up. It's like, hi, Dom. Like, where are you, Jerry? I'm going to take giant douche and turd sandwich out for a walk. But I'm supposed to be on the podcast, aren't I? Yes, you are, Jerry. I'll get me coat.
We already had your coat.
I did have my coat. Oh, so sorry again.
No, it's funny. Just think, but we were just talking about it. Myself and Fiona were talking about it before. That's the first time that's happened in 4 years.
4 years?
3 years. 3 years. We're on our 4th year.
Considering me,
years.
that's not a bad track record. To be fair,
No,
is
I
it?
think that's pretty.
That's not bad going.
Yeah, we've had to move due to guest conflicts or illnesses and stuff, but we've never just had somebody just not turn up. Normally because we're so excited to do the podcast.
At least I didn't answer the phone and go,
I
Dom.
must say, I've been looking forward to this one.
Yes.
Yeah, so have we.
Yes. Yeah.
We were talking about it
Yeah.
the
Well,
other
we were talking about it. I don't know. It was earlier in this. Oh no, was it last week? I don't know. I lost track, Jerry. This week's been long.
Week before.
What a week!
Yeah, what a week! What a week! Honestly, the way that this week's turned out, the way that the last couple of weeks have turned out, I'm surprised that you didn't call and I say, Dom, I'm in Egypt. I'm about to jump off a boat. Like, yeah, you're supposed to be on a podcast. Oh.
But I don't think, Fiona, we've actually spoken properly since the last podcast. I think you've joined us for a couple of Winchesters.
I don't think we have, no. Yeah, I joined the just after I left. I carried on doing the Winchester for about, 3 months.
Mm.
And then I think you had a bit of a break, didn't you?
We did,
and then I
yeah.
didn't get an invite to come back, so I didn't know they were still going on.
That's such a random time. That's where we really struggle.
We don't even do the monthly anymore. It's not even monthly now. It's kind of every sort of 6 to 8 weeks, just whenever. Yeah, and it's. I think the last one was delayed a couple of times. Not your one, Dom, but the one before that, and then Dom's one got delayed by about 3 weeks anyway. Or twice. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one, I was dying. That's the word for it. And then the second one, what was happening last week? So not the week just gone, as in the 21st, but Friday the 14th. Was everybody on holiday?
Everyone was on holiday. Everyone was on holiday because we were on the Wednesday call, and it's like, oh, are you going to be able to make it on Friday? And a certain person said no, and then literally everybody jumped in and went, yeah, I'm not going to be around either, and so I'm not going to be around, and then it's like, I am Spartacus.
Were you on holiday as well,
I'm
Fiona?
Spartacus, and I thought, oh, right, there's no point then, is there? It should be me and Dom on the call, and that'll be it.
Were you on holiday on the 14th?
What, of May?
No, June.
14th of June. Can't remember. Don't know what day it was.
Probably. I reckon.
Oh, it was a Friday.
I reckon
It was a
Fiona was
Friday.
on holiday as well. It's almost a national holiday. There were that
I
many
think I had
people
a
on
half
holiday on
day.
that day.
I did. I had a half day.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go.
Oh dear. Right. Well, speaking of holidays, that is the first bit of the podcast. Is going to be speaking about the holidays, because I have just booked about 27 different ones, which is making a lot of people very jealous. I've had a lot of people going, "Can I come with you?" One, because I've just booked. I'm going to Iceland in October. So
Nice.
the podcast recorded in November, we can talk about Iceland. And then 4 weeks after that, which is the one that everybody is jealous of, I have just booked. Suddenly become northern. I have just booked 8 nights in the Maldives.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm making a lot of people very jealous. I know, Jerry, you were. I think you said I hate you. Something along those lines, wasn't it?
Iceland is amazing.
I mean, you've written down. You've got some recommendations. So hit me. Let's go, Fiona. Let's go for the recommendations.
Well, so do you like lobster?
I'm a big fan of fish. Yes.
Right, so in the main car park in Reykjavik, really random, they've got this thing, it looks like a burger caravan, but all they sell is lobster. It's called the Lobster Hut. So you can have lobster soup, lobster sandwich, lobster salad, extra lobster, and it is just randomly there in the middle of the car park in Reykjavik. There is only one car park in Reykjavik.
I can fully believe that, yes.
Yeah. But so that's really good. And then there's another restaurant which I'll have to find the name of it for you.
Just a quick question though, but the people serving though, do they give it all that? Sorry, I had to get that in there. Did they give it all that?
I think Fiona's internet is dying, so she can't quite see Jerry doing the pincer movement on this. And for our audio listeners, right? Remember our audio listeners. Remember our audio listeners, Jerry. Remember our audio listeners.
That was visual. Too
He
visual.
is going. What is it? What's his name from Futurama?
Oh, I know who you mean.
Zoidberg.
Yeah, Zoidberg.
Yeah, Zoidberg. Jerry is going full Zoidberg at the moment. He was trying to make a terrible loss.
Yeah, there's another one called the Meat Garden. I'm not sure. Not sure the Icelandic name for it, but it translates as Meat Garden, and it's basically open kitchen, so you can see them cooking, and it's all on open grill.
Nice.
That was amazing. And then some of the tours, like the Grand Circle tour, which takes in the geysers and the Gullfoss Falls, and it's like takes in most of the scenery from Game of Thrones. It's absolutely phenomenal. So those are really good. And then there's this weird little cafe down on the by the port where the ships come in, and it's they do things like they have Scrabble evenings, and people come in with their big dictionaries, and I mean they're huge dictionaries tucked under their arm, and then they move from table to table with their dictionary and their glass of wine they take with them. It's absolutely weird, but great little place, and they serve really good fish and chips in there. So
I have to ask, are dictionaries allowed?
Those would be my recommendations.
Are dictionaries allowed when you play Scrabble?
They're Scrabble dictionaries. Yeah.
Scrabble
What's
dictionary.
Well,
I've
there
never heard
anyway.
of Scrabble. Yeah.
What's the Scrabble dictionary when it's at home?
So we've got one. It gives you all like lists of 3-letter words, 4-letter words, 5-letter words. So things that you can have, and you say including an E, with a 5-letter word including an E, and it will give you a whole list of them.
Wow.
Or you can check if a word is actually allowed in the Scrabble as well.
Nice.
Nice. That must be that. So, I mean,
So,
I've already.
yeah.
So we've booked nothing but excursions when we go out. So we land on the Monday at like midnight, which I'm like, oh, really? Okay, fine. Full cross-eyed moment. Then the Tuesday Tuesday night is when we do the Northern Lights kind of tour. So we've got kind of that day. We've got a couple of tickets to things already in Reykjavik as part of our excursions out there. Then what we've then got on the Wednesday, we've got the Golden Circle tour. So we will be taken around kind of that. That's 8 hours for the whole day. So I'm really looking forward to that
Sorry,
one.
Dom. What's
And
the
then
Golden
on the
Circle?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So if you look at like Iceland, it kind of like there's a big ring road, and then there's kind of like a mini internal one that kind of sits just kind of 20 kilometers outside Reykjavik, I'd sort of say, just like judging from the map and going, I think it's about that. But it basically takes you kind of like on the inside of Iceland without going like 100 kilometers across to the other side of the
So
island.
it's a bit like the M25 and the North Circular.
Yeah. This is the North Circular.
So basically, you're going on the North and the South Circular in Iceland. Nice.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Except I think the scenery is a lot prettier.
The other thing it includes is the plates, between Europe and Asia, like the tectonic plate. Like you can actually stand with a foot on either side.
Are there,
So you got one foot
Assuming
in
there's
Asia
not
and
live
one foot in
Aspira now.
Europe.
are there 92 of them?
Nice.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Just checking.
That one. Oh my god. No. So they do a tour around there, and they take you through all of those bits. So there's like a geyser, there's a waterfall, there's a couple of other bits, glacier, stuff like that. So it's all arranged. So just have to rock up, get on a bus, and take us away, type thing.
Nice.
And then on a Thursday we have
all of the buses go from that car park that I mentioned.
Oh, okay. So lobster soup for breakfast then. At 8 o'clock in the morning.
Lobster salad on the way back.
Exactly. And then on the Thursday we've got the Sky Lagoon. So we were going to do blue, but as that's currently surrounded by lava, I thought maybe not. Let's go to a different one that's less touristy and less burny, shall we say?
Bernie! Less ouchy.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh dear. So yes. So I've got that trip kind of planned, and then our flight on Friday is like 7 o'clock in the morning on the way back. So we're only gone for 4 nights.
How long is the flight?
4 nights and 3 days.
Is it 3 hours? No.
5 hours?
Or 5 hours?
5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at that.
4 or 5, yeah. I think it's 4.
It might depend where you go. Heathrow to London flight time. Oh no, 3 hours.
Okay.
So, that's the Stansted. Yeah, 3 hours 10 minutes. Reykjavik to London Heathrow, which is where we're going. So 3 hours.
Cool.
My Maldives one is 10.
That's not too bad. It's actually not too bad.
I think it's difficult, right? Because like I've done hour hops from the UK to Ireland, and they're okay because you don't mind being cramped for an hour. But then I've done like 4 or 5 hour hops to like Tenerife and Spain and stuff, and it's the same type of plane. So after like 2 hours, you're cramped and you are uncomfortable. Whereas when I did Florida last year and I've done Jamaica, those ones, even though they're like 10 to 13 hours, the plane's so big that you're less cramped. And and you've got a lot more amenities, and like there's food that's served to you rather than, do you want anything off the trolley, dears? So it feels a bit more of an event, and it feels a bit more, how to phrase it, like it's more comfortable on that. So I'd say like sort of anything sort of like 8, 9, 10 plus, where they give you those big transatlantic like planes, I think are better than kind of your like 4, 5, where you've still got the smaller planes.
I
So
see
you're
what you're
still
saying. Yeah,
packed like a sardine, but for longer.
it always reminds me of that. There's that thing that always comes up every now and again on Facebook, and it says you've got the what are they called now? The hosts? No,
The stewards.
or stewards? Yeah,
Stewards.
So they say tea or coffee? Oh, tea. He goes, wrong. It's coffee. Love that. Never fails to make me
Oh
laugh.
my god. You're a simple man.
I
aren't
am.
you?
With simple humour.
So yeah, definitely need to get lobster then when I go to Iceland.
And a prawn ring.
I want to know your obsession with prawn rings.
Well, Iceland do some great prawn rings. They do good chicken poppers as well.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
And jalapeno poppers. I love jalapeno poppers.
Oh, you're a mentalist.
But I don't know if that's just a Christmas
I was
thing.
just going to.
Sorry.
Well, I was just going to get some shrimp for our good old friends.
Shrimp.
So, you know.
Love a bit of shrimp.
Shrimpy.
Oh, dear. And the other one I wanted to talk about, because I wanted to talk about a friend of the podcast. And I know that for both of you, that this person in the location that they are is quite passionate to your souls, shall we say. So I went to Portugal and I met up with our good friend Yevgeny. He was on a business trip out in Portugal. So I went over for a long weekend, kind of tagged on as he finished work and then left just as he started work. And yeah, had an absolute whale of a time and managed to see someone from Ukraine in person,
That's fantastic.
which is just so good. So good to see. I'd also like to point out I did this 4 weeks after my surgery. So we've had the podcast where I did my surgery, and I went surfing.
You know what my views were on that, Dom, when we spoke about it before you went?
Oh dear.
You're lucky you didn't injure yourself more. That's all I'm going to say.
I know. I don't know how I didn't. To be fair, it wasn't as arduous on the hip as I thought it was going to be. Do you know what interesting? The bit that hurt the most was my triceps, because you have to push the surfboard back into the sea, and you know, in Penicia where the waves are, it just was like brutalizing. So you're constantly pushing down, and then to get up from the surfboard, it's all like downward dog or like press up position type thing. So again, that's just pushing with your triceps. So by the end of like my arms I was like, they're just an absolute agony. Help me.
If your surgeon listens to this episode, you're in right trouble. You know that.
I probably am. But this is also the man that 2 hours after he woke me up from surgery and I asked him how the hip was, and he went, "It's fucked." And I can say that because my mum was in the room.
Nice.
So yes, you only live once, but it was good. It was really good. We did loads of stuff. The other bit that was really interesting that I think you'll laugh about was we had a car lift.
A car lift?
So yeah, a lift that you drove a car in and it changed the floor with the car on.
Oh,
cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I'm gonna show it on my webcam to these two, but when I actually edit the podcast, I'll put the clip in. Just bear with me, caller. So look, there you go. That's me and Yevgeny. I went surfing.
It's a big surfboard.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So apparently, surfboard's got to be X% taller than you. The thing that you can't see is, I don't know if it'll. Oh, look at that! Yeah, it does. It's me squinting because I haven't got my glasses on.
Right.
And everyone has said that I look like Hans Moleman from The Simpsons.
Oh,
Okay.
wait 1
Oh, yeah,
second.
Kenny.
That's a test. Hans Molman.
Hans Molman from The
Who's
Simpsons.
Hans Molman? Well, that's a character I don't recognise.
I'll give you a clue. Haha, there's a guy that got hit in the football
Oh,
in the
yeah.
groin by a football.
I didn't realise that was his name.
Did you not?
No.
Please tell me, Fiona, you knew that was his name.
I don't watch TV. I don't
Oh.
watch TV.
Hans Molman.
Right. So, speaking of fish, so this shop, which looks like a circus, right? That is all of those cases are fish.
Or sardines. Cans of sardines.
Yeah, sardines, canned sardines.
Wow.
Portuguese love sardines. Look at that.
Yeah.
Why does it look like a
Nice.
circus?
And then-
I love sardines done on the barbecue in Spain. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, those sound amazing, Fiona. Those sound amazing.
Oh, literally, they have it's an old boat, and they use it as a barbecue, and just do about 6 sardines on one skewer, and then just
Wow.
stuff it on your plate. Absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Oh, that sounds
They
incredible.
have them all over the beaches in
absolutely-
Spain. I love them.
Well, so here is the video of us in the car lift. I'm just going to try and do that. So here you go. There's me kind of pointing the camera up, and you can see the mechanism rolling the car down as we get down. And then we're in the car's running, and you can see how close it is. By the way, this is a Renault Clio. There's Yevgeny. Okay. And then in a minute,
That is very close, Dom.
yeah.
Like by millimetres by the looks of it.
And there you go. There's the door we've just come from. As you can see, it's getting further and further away. And in a minute, I'm going to rotate. I think I rotate it round. Bye-bye, door. Hello, new door.
Oh, do you know what? That's giving me anxiety. It's so close.
Cool.
How much space is behind? Are you literally...
None.
No, that is...
Yeah.
Did you have to drive in there like that?
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's a door opening.
Oh, okay.
And then it cuts off.
Not happy about that. Gonna probably have
But
bad
basically,
dreams about that
anything
tonight.
bigger than a Clio, you can't use it.
Well, yeah, pretty much, Fiona, pretty much. So we got to the airport, and Yevgeny got offered like a big SUV because that's what most people want. And Yevgeny was like, no, I want the smallest car that you can give me. So we got the Renault Clio, and he was like, I think it is. Drove it in, and then, as you can see, so I'm out of the car because you had to hold the button to get the lift to move.
Right.
So you couldn't just tap it and it would move to the next floor. You had to hold it. And it was easier than trying to kind of reach out the window to do it. Weirdly, it seemed to be more set up for a right-hand drive car based upon drive. I think they wanted you to reverse in, is what I think they wanted you to do. But we drove frontwards both times. But yeah, so basically I was like bringing Yevgeny forward, and admittedly I've got him like, sort of like, inches close, and the back's probably got, I don't know, sort of like that at the back. And then we've got both wing mirrors fitted in. What you can't see is I'm recording, but I'm stood like this against the car, like flat against the wall with my arm. So I'm recording my right hand. I don't know if this comes through. I'm recording my right hand like that, and I'm pressing the button like that because that's the only way that I can do it. It's to hold the button literally.
That's
like I was a bit
ridiculous.
lower, but yeah. But yes, it was an experience. I'm absolutely. And I'm so glad that I did experience something as just weird, as wonderful as that. Because it's like, yeah, sod it. Let's do something weird. But it was really big in Portugal. Like underground spaces are really used in Portugal because it's we're in Lisbon, so it's so high rise and so busy that they have no choice. So,
Again,
yeah.
it's the same in Spain. There's masses of underground car parks, but they've got massive pillars in the way. I mean, it's virtually impossible to get in and out without hitting your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the spaces are so tiny as well.
I wish I had the full I wish I don't know if did I send Yevgeny the full video, because obviously that's cut the end off. Yevgeny.
Yeah, the car parks were like that in Madeira. Like you'd put in.
That's a photo he took of me. There you go. There's a photo of me.
Oh, wait. Fantastic.
No, I didn't. Yeah, more food. I forgot about that picture.
Nice.
Nice.
That. Yeah. So I didn't send him the other one. Oh, do you know Yevgeny's favorite beer, Jerry?
I should do, because he said, is it Estrella?
No. So it's a Belgian white Blue Moon.
Blue Moon, of course. Sorry, Blue Moon. Yes.
Yeah. So I might have bought a couple of cans,
Oh,
Nice.
and that is him the week after, with his wife and one of their friends, sat at the top of the park in Portugal in 20-degree heat with the Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
And pizza.
brilliant.
God,
And that is looking over the entire of Lisbon.
fantastic.
So yeah, what a legend. But yeah, food was great. Company was amazing. Weird things like that. I had octopus while I was out there.
Ooh,
So
lovely.
going back to the lobster. So I went surfing, then had octopus.
Port Bay.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it was brilliant. We went to a place called Capo de Roco, which is the most westernly point of Europe. So you can't go any further as you get wet. And it was a long fall as well. It was a big cliff. So yeah, just amazing. Just amazing. So yeah, fully glad that I went. And loads of people have been sort of saying, go, like just take the opportunity. And despite the fact that it was the middle of the half-term holidays and it did absolutely spank my bank account a little bit, it was well worth it.
Yeah, because I looked at the cost, Dom. I wanted to come out with you.
Yeah,
I
you were
looked
going
at-
to come with me, yeah.
I looked at the cost and was like, might have to pass this time.
Yeah. Yes, but hopefully, fingers crossed, other opportunities, bits and pieces like that.
Didn't you say you've been to Holland as well? Are you going to Holland?
Yes, I've just come back from Holland. I did my first Taekwondo holiday as a non-Taekwondo person. I went as a spectator. Yay!
Ooh.
And it was great. It was really weird to be at a tournament and not stressed.
That's a milestone moment, Dom, for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. I think highlight of that one was I got to drive. We got an electric car as a hire car. I drove it very, very sensibly when I had passengers because I had a 3-month-old as a passenger with me, which I was very, very careful. But when I was on my own, I did absolutely spank that down the road. And once I was like, I just want to see what it does once. Doosh, whee. And it was good. But it was good. It was very, very good. I have always stated that I think Holland and the Netherlands is the country that I would retire to if I was going to change country when I retire.
It is one of those places. So I fell in love with Amsterdam when I went to Amsterdam and thought, wow, if there's a city overseas that I could live and work in, this would be it. It was so chilled out. And I know that sounds, I'm not saying that in a stereotypical way. It was just genuinely a very chilled out, really beautiful city. I loved it. And the food is amazing.
Oh, I love Amsterdam.
Yeah.
But Spain's got my heart.
I was going to say, you must, because you've been on, have you been on recently, I think I saw, or?
No, I went to Mallorca in September.
Oh, I love Mallorca.
Yes.
Which I would never. Well, so I made a mistake and I went to the wrong place.
Where did you go?
So I was round the other side of Palma Bay from Magaluf, but apparently I've been told since it's the Germans' equivalent to Magaluf. And literally every other building was a tattoo parlour. And I think I was the only person in the entire area that wasn't covered in tattoos.
But you are now.
Absolutely unreal. No, absolutely not. I can't stand them. Um,
You're like one of the
but yeah,
Yakuza
it
now.
was.
Yeah.
But no, it's not the best place in the world, and it was an adults-only hotel. My balcony on the first floor overlooked the kids' playground, so I had screaming
Nice.
kids the whole time.
In an adults only hotel.
It was meant to be all inclusive, but they've changed the rules in Mallorca and Ibiza that you can't have a proper all inclusive because they're trying to discourage stag and hen parties. So you get a tiny little glass of beer or wine times 3 at lunchtime and in the evening. And if you're not in the hotel, you don't get it. And they actually tick it off on a little card to say that you've had it. And that's what they called all inclusive.
That's insane.
And the food was dire. So yeah, that was a bit pants. But the island itself, when I went off, I went on the wooden train up to Soya, got the tram down to Port de Soya,
Yeah, it's
and
beautiful.
then
around
got a
there.
boat round the headland and coach journey through like the mountains, and it was beautiful.
Did you
So
go
I
to
would
the
definitely
place-
go back, but I'll do my research a bit.
Did you go to the place where they do the artificial pearls? Make the artificial pearls?
No.
No, okay. That's like in the centre of the island.
No.
It's just beautiful. I love it. I love it there.
Yeah, no, I would go back, but not to where the bit where I went to. It was not good.
Slightly better hotel.
Well, a much better hotel, but also the Palma itself is stunning.
Yeah, Palmer's a
I
beautiful
did a
city,
walking
yeah.
tour in Palma, and that was beautiful. It's his, yeah, really good. So yeah, one for another time, but definitely different area.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I've always maintained because I did Barcelona. I did Barcelona. I'm going to use air quotes for a stag do, but it was like the least stag do I think I've ever witnessed. I mean, we drank, but we mostly walked around Barcelona. So we kind of did. We went to the gardens at the top. We didn't go into the the incomplete, whatever it's called, the not finished, half built cathedral.
The
Yeah.
Sagrada Familia.
Yes. We didn't go in because the queue was about 45 minutes and we were like, nah. But we went and enjoyed the beach and, just kind of had a very casual holiday. Just generally walked around different bits and pieces. And I did quite like that place. Although, as with all traditional European cities, not enough bathrooms, public bathrooms. That's just the general rule.
Well, all the
No.
beaches in
That's all
Barcelona
well
are artificial, aren't they? They were built for the Olympics, weren't they? 40 years ago.
Are
Yeah,
they? I
apparently,
didn't
yeah.
know that.
Google that.
I know that the beach only is about like 2 feet, and then it's like another 2 feet, and it's really shallow, and then it's just a cliff, and then it's the sea, and you're like, it's like you're up to your ankles, drowning.
Yeah,
There's nothing in between.
Nice.
Nothing
yeah,
in
it's
between
quite a
at all.
shelf there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the way to describe it. Yeah,
I'm
but
off to
I was going to ask because
Benidorm again, obviously.
yeah, that was going to be my next
Oh
question.
yeah,
if
actually,
you're
I
gonna
went to
go- you're-
Benidorm in November as well, and I'm going again this November, so I've just booked that. But I am doing the 10k race this time, so I've got to get myself back up to 10k again.
In Benidorm.
The last
So
year
you-
I entered but didn't do it. So yeah, I go with people from the running club, and we generally get smashed on Thursday night, take it a bit easy on Friday night. Saturday night we do the race, and then we get smashed and get home about 5 a.m, and then we fly home on Sunday night.
Nice.
So
Nice. Is Benidorm? Oh yeah, so Benidorm is slightly further south.
yes, it's between Valencia and Alicante.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I've just got the map.
But
up.
it's,
Let's have
I
a
mean,
look where it is.
the old town is really quite nice. The new town is Blackpool on steroids. It's just crazy.
Benidorm is. I always.
But you
I don't
can
know what it
get
is,
like
because
four pints of Guinness and a double vodka and Coke for €11.
Oh, come on.
I've just gone onto Google Maps. I'm sorry. I've just gone to Google Maps. I've just seen the most British thing, and I'm not going to put this on the screen. The Google car has evidently gone past, and I've seen the most British man in the world. He's very overweight, very burnt, very white, right? And he's wearing Speedos and trainers.
Nice.
That's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Nice.
I always thought Benidorm has like a bit
Yeah.
of a... Does it have a bad rep? It's got a very stereotypical
As I
rep.
say, it depends which bit you go to. If you go to the Old Town, it's lovely, which is where we normally stay. And it's so cheap. I mean, like 3 nights B&B, 150 quid.
Oh, wow.
That's brilliant.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really, really good.
So like the whole holiday, including flights, parking, hotel, transfers at the other end, I think is just over 300 quid. About 350 quid. And then obviously spending money on top. But
That's very, very good.
when you can get around to
That's
drinks for 11 euros, you're not too worried about the spend.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Should I tell you how much my Maldives trip is costing me?
Just
Yeah.
a smidge
Yeah.
more than that. Just a smidge.
Just less than $5,000.
Ooh, ouch.
I'm hoping it's going to be worth every penny.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Although I checked the weather,
Oh,
Dom.
I'm sure it will. It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
I checked the weather, and apparently on those dates that you're flying, no, I'm joking.
Well,
It's gonna be beautiful.
I went and researched like the weather for the Maldives and was like, okay, hang on a minute. When's the best time to go? And they're going like, oh yeah, this you get this type of weather, this you get this type of weather, this you get this type of weather, and then it just had a note, almost like a note at the bottom, and it basically just said, it's on the equator, the weather's freaking amazing all year round, just go.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, fine, I can do that.
it's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. But you do know that week that you're away, there'll be a heat wave here.
Oh yes, despite the fact it's the 1st of
Doesn't
December.
matter. We'll have freak weather conditions. It'll take us to like 26 degrees, blazing sunshine.
Well, that'll make you
Yeah,
happy.
it will make
won't
me
it?
very happy. There'll be like a front coming up from the south, just for that week, and then it'll just dip back down again.
Oh dear. Right, that's mental. The second bit I wanted to talk about today, I think, in our topical events section, is job changes. Because Jerry, you've had a job change in the last. Oh, has it been 2 years yet?
It'll be 2 years in October. October the
And-
17th, to be precise.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Fiona, you changed your role about the same time.
January the 16th. So I left on the Friday the 13th and started my new job
Nice.
on Monday the 16th.
Look at that. So you're sort of like 4 months after Jerry. And I wanted to kind of put questions out to you, and we'll start with our guest. We'll start with Fiona, because I think you're doing. Is it an apprenticeship officially?
Yeah, it is. I'm doing an apprenticeship in professional coaching.
Nice.
And I get to practice. So I'm actually coaching people as part of the course, being observed and what have you. So it means that I'm helping them, but they're helping me as well. And it's just incredible. But I've changed as a person since I've been doing it. I've learned so much about myself with all the different things about emotional intelligence, awareness, all that kind of thing. Absolutely incredible. And some of the tools that I've got now that, I can use to help people sort of in anything. I mean, ranging from people who want to change roles and not knowing what skills they need to do that, through people with imposter syndrome problems, through to presenting skills, all sorts of things. Absolutely,
Ah,
yeah. I absolutely love it.
just to clarify in my mind, so your apprenticeship, I don't know what level it is because there's obviously loads of different
Level
levels,
5.
but does that level 5, so it's equivalent of a degree?
So level 5 is, yeah, it's the equivalent of a first year degree, first year of a
First year.
degree course.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Level 6 is full
Yeah,
degree.
but it's
Level
quite
7 must be
like
master's.
full on, and yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so you must be doing 4 days a week working, and then 1 day a week at an educational institute. I think is the
Yeah.
best way to put it.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing it online, so I'm doing like online workshops and writing assignments and God knows what. So, which is the first time I've had to write assignments since I left school in 1986.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and yeah, it's blown my mind. I've got one at the moment I'm doing on leadership and communication, and it's just like, really, this is really hard.
Can I ask? You said it's changed you. So apart from all of the tattoos that you got when you went out to Mallorca, how else has it changed you? Sorry,
Just
break down.
more self-awareness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
self-awareness, just
So it's helped you in the
emotional
process.
self-control and listening
Right.
skills as well. I mean, listening skills, incredible.
Okay.
I mean, did you know there are 3 levels of listening? I didn't.
Sorry, can you say that again?
So, yeah.
I don't know if you're being facetious.
Uh-huh.
Jokes today are terrible. Sorry. No, I had no idea.
One of them is that-
Sorry, go on, Dom.
Listening to understand, listening to respond are 2 of them I know.
Oh, okay. So what's the third one?
So
then?
most
Listening-
people listen to respond,
Yes.
and
I
listening
don't
to
know what the third one
understand
is.
is actually hearing what's being said to you. So the third
Mhm.
one is more sort of global listening. So you're not listening to just the words; you're listening to what's not being said. You're looking at visual clues. You're looking at body language. You might be listening. Somebody might be sort of visual, so they might say, "Oh, I see what you mean," and you try and reflect that. Or they might say, "Oh, I hear what you're saying," so they're more auditory. Or they might say, "I feel like something," so they're more kinesthetic. And you try and reflect what you're hearing, reflect your own language back to them, because that's how they respond better.
Right.
So it's really,
Wow.
really full on.
That like, I wasn't expecting it to be like quite that deep. Now that's really intense when you think about like being able to analyze the language that's being said and adapt what you're then responding with to meet the way that they're said. That's like some like meta listening. That's like proper like hardcore. I love it. Like, and as a psychology like nerd, right? I freaking love that stuff. That's like cool. Like I'm a nerd, but you get the point. And I never really thought I'm not going to be listening to that.
There's loads of NLP stuff as well. Yeah, so it's and I want to look more into that. Wow. So, and then at the end of it, I'm hoping to change roles again.
When is that due to finish?
So
sorry.
When is that? No.
So I'm due to qualify in January.
Oh, okay. Not long to go now.
We have a change management team, and I want to move into that area. So it's all about the people side of change.
Brilliant. No, you mustn't.
So my coaching skills are becoming useful there.
No, you mustn't consider that. You're barking up the wrong tree if you consider people in change. Definitely don't want to do that if you.
I know some organisations aren't so good at it. Not mentioning any names, obviously. Don't want any bleep here.
Don't. I don't want
to go down that road. I'm not going down that road.
No, I don't. Oh,
don't
no.
turn right into that road. Turn left. Turn left.
About turn. Oh dear. Quick. Chuck a Yui.
Chuck a Yui,
Sonia will
yeah.
appreciate that. Sonia will appreciate that. No, I mean, honestly, that sounds like it's because like the learning side of things is a bit that interests me, because it's making sure that you keep on top of your knowledge, you keep on top of your skills as well. And the fact that you straight away went straight out, yeah, but I'm finding out about myself just by learning how to do my job. I'm like, that's cool. Like that's like such a profound thing to kind of be able to change about you and go forward. I am reading your notes
especially in
on
your
here.
mid-50s.
Obviously, yeah, to show that you, without being too harsh, you can teach an old dog new tricks, so to speak. We're still teaching Jerry things.
I'm like a sponge.
What, like being on time and like look at your watch?
like reading your emails, like reading the detail of an invitation when it comes through.
Freaking right. I'm gonna call out 90% of the people that I interact with in my job cannot read their emails or Teams messages properly. They are all useless, and it winds me up. It's like, read the damn email for God's sake, people.
No, Dom, got to relay the story. So Dom messaged me and said, "You know what I'm going to say, don't you?" You messaged me and he said,
I think I do. Carry on.
What podcast? What headphones do you use for the podcast?
Oh, this is great.
And
Okay,
I was on. Oh, you're going to actually read it word for word. Excellent. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I won't ruin it.
I'm logging in. It's fine.
I just want to set context to this. So I'm on calls literally from morning to night because there's a particular program of work as well where literally we keep thinking we're going to get to the finish line. You think, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's just somebody with a big torch going, no, there's loads more tunnel to go yet. So it's been like this for about 6 weeks, and I'm just right in the quagmire of this program. So let me know when you're ready, Dom.
I've got it. So I'm going to read out word for word what this is what Jerry wrote to me. Right, this is not what he said. This is what he's written to me.
The other bit as well.
Yeah. So I've gone completely separate note. My headphones are dying. So these headphones, if I've got this judged in the wrong place, one of the earphones dies. Right. What are the ones that you use when we're on the podcast? Which is the ones that he's currently got on his noggin. Right. And he goes, right. So I sent this at near enough midday. At 1 o'clock, he goes, bear with me, caller. I'll dig them out and let you know. 2:15. Hang about. Do you mean my work headphones are the ones for the podcast? I assumed one for the podcast for some reason. Oh my God, you made it clear in your question. It's the podcast one. Jesus, I'm losing it. DT77 Pro ATOHM. Bayer Dynamics, of course. And then I respond 5 minutes later after that. I love you. You're nuts. And he just goes, I love you too, my friend, because you embrace my nuts. Good. Someone has to. So yes, needless to say, it was just the way that he'd written, I'll find that out for you. And then an hour later he goes, hang on a minute, I need more information, despite the fact that information was in my original message.
Oh, classic.
So, yes. You are.
I forgot about the nuts as
you're
well.
Like that.
Good job you brought that up.
Well, the bits I do want to talk about, the negative bits from your job, the train service. Let's have a British rant, shall we, Fiona?
Rant.
I feel for you, Fiona.
Literally, in the 18 months that I've been travelling up to London, generally once a fortnight, I've had to claim at least part of the journey back in refunds. Like 60 to 70%, somewhere like that. Absolutely horrendous. Yeah, we've had landslides. We've had. The other day we were on outside Basingstoke, and we were delayed because of congestion on a completely empty piece of track. You couldn't see another train anywhere, but there's congestion on the track. What the hell? Yeah, how can it be congested when there's no other trains around? They just come up with the biggest pack of lies. It's unreal.
The UK has,
And then the other
hands
night,
down,
coming
the
back,
worst.
we had our summer party.
Oh, sorry, that's a delay. That's a big delay. Wow. I was going to say,
Yeah,
we have got a big delay. I was going to say the UK does have. I don't care what anyone says. I want somebody to argue the point that the UK doesn't have the worst train service in the world.
Oh, it's horrendous. Absolutely awful. The other night, coming home from the summer party, they just cancelled the last two trains. Well, the last two trains, they didn't cancel them, but they were supposed to stop at Winchester instead of Southampton, and I had my ticket to Southampton. And then they kicked us off at Basingstoke. I had to stand for an hour waiting for them to put us in a taxi. During which time, of course, Basingstoke is the most salubrious place in the world. And there was some bloke attacking some policemen. So they were using pepper spray, which then blew back in the policeman's eye, and he's pouring water in his eye. Oh, God, it was just... I mean, talk about putting on the entertainment for us. It was unreal. But I got home... I left the party at 10 o'clock, and I got home at 2 in the morning.
Oh.
That's not what you want. That is not what you want.
No.
I had that once when.
But yeah, it's quite good though. They had a summer party instead of a Christmas party, so there is a good point to it.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, it was really good. The fairground and live music and food and all the drinks included. Absolutely awesome.
Nice.
Knocking the hell out of people on the dodgems. Really good fun.
Which can give you whiplash.
Dodgems
can actually give you whiplash.
You can do, but yeah. Yeah. But it was good fun.
So you go in once a fortnight?
Normally, yeah. This month I've actually been up every Thursday because we've had lots of meetings and I've been coaching and what have you, but it'll settle back down again to once every 2 weeks. We have a face-to-face team meeting alternate weeks.
What amazes me is there are people that do that journey every day. There's some people that do that journey, or at least 4 days a week.
Don't know how.
I mean, how on earth can anyone do that? You just... I travel to London from...
Well, I wouldn't be able to afford it.
Well, there is that as well. But I remember I did it.
You're talking about 80.
Well, it's over £100 from Brockenhurst.
It's costing me between 60 and 80 quid every time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be able to afford to do it.
I do not have it. I think so. What I'm going on Monday, so it was 160 return on Monday.
Ridiculous.
It's just mad. That's just mad. Which I don't particularly want to do, but I thought it's probably worth to point out that there are downsides to every single job, and it's like it's what we have to do, things like that. So.
I'm probably going to be travelling with work in September. I'm probably going to have to go to the head office.
Which is where?
Which is in Boston.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's an amazing city, I've heard.
Yeah, so
never been.
The tech team are based in Portsmouth, which is about 30 miles outside Boston. So probably spend 2 days there and 2 days in the Boston office, and I have a long weekend in the middle, which I would pay for the hotel myself. So I get a bit of a holiday because I kind of talked my boss into letting me go at the end of September so that I'm going to have my birthday weekend in Boston.
Nice. Well, I thought you were the boss.
Nice.
No.
Okay.
I am. I am
dear.
the boss, but he's the one with the purse strings.
Fair enough.
Yes, that's the best way to put it. I think, and it's the one with the purse strings,
Yeah.
and things like that. I think. I mean, the other side of that is I know, Jerry, you've done a lot of learning with yours as well. Although you're busier than a bee in the
Busy
summer. And I just wondered, like, sort of 18 months on, how well I know that you're less stressed. That's definitely the case. You've got a different kind of stress, I think.
Well,
is the term.
it became clear to me about 6 months ago that I realised that actually my job entails a whole ton of pressure, but no stress. For me, I know some people do that role and get stressed, but for me, it's not stressful. For me, it's just a lot of pressure. And I realised that I can deal with pressure pretty well. I can't deal with stress. So for anyone listening, to use a work context, if I'm in an environment where I don't feel supported and I've got peers that are trying to outdo me, and there's a lot of competition and there's a lot of politics and there's a lot of things that one thing is said but another thing is done, and it's trying to sort of understand, who's going to do what long term, and it's all about empire building and all that sort of stuff really stresses me out. But it's not pressure.
I think I've got a good kind of example. If I gave you a Lego model, but all the pieces were laid out nice and neatly, you had the instruction manual, went, you've got 2 hours, build it. You'd be like, crawl, and you'd crack on and you'd do it. That's pressure.
Yes, exactly.
But if I gave you a Lego model, right, and said, right, I just need you to build it, and then every now and then I just tipped the table upside down,
or keep telling you that what you built
That's
is wrong.
Yeah, and then just go, and then you get then I get 3/4 way and remove that Lego model and give you another one instead, right? And say carry on from where you were, and then flip the table, and then tear you the instruction manual in half. That's not pressure. That is just pure stress, because you're like, well, how do I do this? I've got to do that, and that's kind of the way that I would describe it. Yeah. Like there's like a time limit to the.
Well, there's that as well.
But it's like, it's a good way to kind of go. There's a pressure to get something done, but you know what you need to do, and you just got to get it done. And then there's stress where there's like, no, we're just going to swap and change the Lego model. No, we don't want the doors of the car to be black anymore. We want them to be green. And can you switch them out halfway through? And it's just like, what are you doing? That's fairly standard.
So I'm still enjoying it. I really like
it's it. It's like giving you a Meccano set without a spanner.
Yeah, and the spanner's normally me.
Well, today it's me. So yeah, no, I love my role. I really do enjoy it. It was definitely the right move for me, and I want to explore more of the coaching side of things. So I'm talking to somebody actually. In fact, I need to contact them, but somebody that does actually want to be coached. Do it. And so I'm gonna set something up and basically take them through coaching and see how I get on with that. So I'm looking forward to it. That's an area that I'm really interested in. But I do think that
if you want another aspect on coaching, let me know.
I will definitely do that, Fiona. Definitely. But it's an area I'm really interested in. So I'm going to explore it more.
Yeah. I was going to say, just during this recording, I had a message from the person that we think is one of the best coaches that we've got in our company, she's just messaged me, and you need to come on the podcast as well. Jerry knows what I'm talking about, but she won't do it. Come on the podcast. Cool. And I find this really interesting because I'm in a very different position in terms of my job role and learning and stuff like that, because I have stress and pressure. Hey, that's the best way I can describe it. And Jerry's heard the full rage from last week where I got the carpet pulled out from underneath me, which I was not best pleased with. And I'm not going to go into on the podcast, but it was like, so it's just interesting to hear how, I'm at the age where I've been ambitious and I've done some value stuff, and I'm like, there's a certain value that I'm like, that's an interesting thing that I have, but it's like, yes, I want more of that because then I get to go on holiday. Yay. And what I found interesting is that actually, even for me in like 10 years time, when I'm kind of, more towards your age, is that I still have the opportunity to make some career changes and some options. Like I'm not like stuck where I am. It's been a lovely thing to see Jerry's journey over the kind of the things. And I have to admit, Fiona, I stalk you on LinkedIn quite frequently. Go, I wonder what Fiona's up to, and just to see like what's going on, how it is, and how things are doing. And I think that's one of the best things. And I think, like going forward, I think it's good to get these updates. Fiona, you can become a yearly regular like Swanee and be like, right, what's your update this year? Well, what have you learned this year? Who is going to be taking things on this year? Be good. And actually, I think it'll be really good. This is kind of my proposal now. Like going forward, like every now and then, it'll be like, right, Fiona, come and do a bit of coaching. Like tell us about a specific thing. We'll come up with a topic and be like, right, coach a hypothetical situation or even a real situation through. I think that'd be really good to get you back on.
Yeah, I'd love to.
So, yeah. Plans for the podcast. Woohoo!
Nice.
Cool. I am going to go on to the 3 fun bits, just because I want a little bit of fun with this podcast. And because I get to do Jerry's least favourite thing, which is blindly rate.
Oh, no.
But we're going to keep it in that. So I have got 5 holiday destinations. And I'm going to tell you one at a time, and you have to rank them 1 to 5, but you won't know what's coming next for those that do not know what a blindly rate is. And I will make a note of what it is. This is Jerry's least favourite thing because last time he ended up with hard-boiled eggs as number 1 as his favourite food.
Yeah. And, what holiday destination comes up as number 1 for me this time? Right. I have to play this very carefully.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, first holiday destination, French Alps skiing.
Who wants to go first? I'll go first whilst you're thinking about that.
I'd say 3 on that one.
Nope.
Okay, 3 for Fiona.
5.
Young. 5, okay. Budapest City Adventure.
I'd say 2 for me on that one because it's somewhere I've always wanted to go.
Oh, it's so good. Budapest is amazing. Go. I love it. It's the only city I want to go back to.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. Jerry?
I might regret this. 3.
3, okay. Number 3, Arctic Circle cruise.
4.
1, 4, and 5 left for you. Okay, 4 for Fiona. 4 for Jerry. I'm not sure that this is going to go. Ibiza party.
5.
Hell.
5.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Jerry, you have...
Yeah, I've got 1 and 2.
Yeah, you've got 1 and 2 left.
Sakes. 2.
Which means I think for both of you, your number one is the beach in Cornwall.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
I'll take that. Never been to Cornwall.
Cornwall's lovely. I love Cornwall.
Cornwall's beautiful.
No. Yeah, I want to go. My family go
Cornwall's.
all the time, and I would love to go down there.
Mm.
In fact, they love it
Cornwall's
so
lovely.
much. One of my cousins has named her dog after the village that they stay in.
Nice. that is like top tier. That is.
And what's the name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Harlin.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I know what Harlan is. Yeah. So Fiona, yours is so Cornwall, Budapest, French Alps, Arctic Circle, Ibiza, party animals. And Jerry, you've got Cornwall, UK beach, party animals in Ibiza,
God's sake.
French Alps skiing. Oh no, sorry, Budapest, Arctic Circle, and then French Alps
I
skiing.
knew I should have put Budapest second. I knew it. I should have listened to my gut. I thought, oh, he's come out with something quite strong, which means that the other ones are going to be a bit dodgy. Okay, right.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the next one.
So
Yeah.
I had a strategy on this. I worked out a strategy because I've been listening to the previous ones, and I was like, right, how am I going to do this? And I thought I'm going to start with 3 because then that gives me something either side. And
Yeah,
then
that's a good shout. Yes.
I was saving 1 for Spain, but then when you said Ibiza party, I'm like, no, absolutely not. Not my scene
Not
at all.
that part
Yeah.
of
So that goes to
Spain.
5.
Yeah,
So
I deliberately set the holidays to be, how to phrase it, like specific things. It wasn't just a location. It was like, this is what you'd be doing, right? Because I'd be like,
yeah,
for me, like Ibiza would be a 5, and I would probably go French Alps skiing 1, Budapest 2, Cornwall 3, Arctic Circle 4, Ibiza 5. And I'd love to do the Arctic
the
Circle.
only
problem is,
2 I would swap around would be 1 and 2.
so you would do Budapest first, rather
Yeah.
than Cornwall.
That's a
Yeah.
serious delay.
But they're both places I really want to go. So
Cornwall, lovely. Budapest, amazing, wonderful, cool. Well, now we're going to do top 5 in the world. To my best Jeremy Clarkson
In the
impression,
world.
but I've actually got 10 here. And I have the top 10 most popular holiday destinations for UK residents. And this is country, so not necessarily like specific, but the top 10 most popular country destinations for UK residents. I've got 10 of them, and I want you to see if you can get the majority of them.
Spain's got to be in there.
Spain is number 1.
I'm surprised.
Greece,
Number 4.
France,
Number 2.
Italy.
Netherlands.
Ooh.
So Netherlands is number 10 and Italy is number 3.
Okay, we're doing all right.
We are doing all right.
Um,
You got 5 until
Greece.
9.
Sorry, have we said Greece?
yeah.
Greece
Sorry,
is number 4. Yes.
America,
The USA is 6.
Australia?
Not on there.
Wow.
Thailand,
Not on there.
oh, Turkey,
Turkey is number 8.
Portugal?
So you've got 5. Portugal is number 5. So you've got 7 and 9 left.
Mexico,
Belgium?
Nope. I will give you. They are both European countries.
okay.
One can require UK residents to make no overseas crossing, and the other is very, very unexpected.
Scotland,
No, so UK residents.
Yeah,
So
that's
there is
what
a
I'm
part of
saying.
the
UK
there is,
residents, so
there's
no
there's a part
overseas
of the
crossing.
yeah. So Scotland is part of the United Kingdom, but there is a part of our islands
Yeah, okay.
that isn't part of the United Kingdom. But it's not this side.
I was going to say Jersey, Guernsey. Jersey.
No. I'll give you a clue. I'll tell you that one. So it's the
Southern
Republic of
Ireland?
Ireland.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, Republic of Ireland.
Right.
I just said, yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one, I don't think you'll get, because I think it's quite unexpected. It's the clue that I will give you. It is the closest country. Well, it's one of the closest countries to where Yevgeny comes from.
Oh, it's going to be either Latvia, Lithuania, or Estonia.
Poland.
Poland.
Ah.
Poland. So it's the first is Spain with 17.8 million visitors, France with 9.2, Italy with 4.9, Greece with 4.1, Portugal with 4 million, USA with 3.9, Republic of Ireland with 3.4, Turkey with 3.2, Poland with 2.8, and the Netherlands with 2.7.
Wow. I have to say, what surprises me is just how much further ahead Spain is. So you've got all of the other countries in that
Yes.
list from 2 to 9,
Yes.
2 to 10 even, that are basically, there's not that much in it. You know, I'm surprised that Greece isn't higher, but Spain is just head and shoulders above.
Yeah, I think the one
It's
that
so
gets me,
cheap
so
to get to,
Italy,
though.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Italy at 4.9. So everything 3 and below is less than 5 million. So Italy 4.9. France is 9.2. So it's nearly double of that. But then Spain is in 17.8 is another nearly double of that. It's
Yeah.
like, what? That's a bit mental.
Yeah, I can
That's a
believe
bit
it.
mental. So,
Because it's
yeah.
not just the mainland as well. You've got all the islands as well.
You've got the islands, you've got Canaries,
Yeah.
you've got Majorca, Minorca,
Balearics, yeah.
Balearics.
The
Yeah.
Balearics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, they all class as that. So yeah, the final bit that I've got then for this podcast, I just realised we haven't. This is not going to be our longest podcast, but I think that's okay. We blame Jerry for being late. I've got just some interesting facts that we've got. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 interesting facts. We haven't done these for a while. And I just want to get your reactions to this, and then we'll just cool down from there. So, have you all seen Finding Nemo? Because I know, Fiona, you don't watch films.
Yeah, no, I have seen that.
Yes. So, Finding Nemo is not scientifically accurate. When Nemo's mum dies, his dad would have become female, and then Nemo would have mated with his dad. Not sure that would have been made appropriate kids.
I literally read that the other day about the in the shoal that they're all one sex until the one female.
They want babies. I seem to have gone on a pregnancy or mating stream with my facts looking at the next ones.
Okay, Dom.
Okay.
It's a bit Freudian.
Because fact number 2 is, because cats can get pregnant at the same time by multiple fathers.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Which is why you quite often get kittens in litters looking completely different.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Did not know that. And then I'll see if you can guess this one. What's the Guinness World Record of children born with one mother?
Is it 18?
What, at the same time or total?
As in, like, multiple children over their lifetime. How many children did that one
18?
person have?
24.
Ooh.
69.
What? What?
No way.
What? Seriously? What the hell?
Mind you, one of
Yep.
my colleagues has got 54 siblings.
54 siblings.
What? How? How does that even work?
His father is African sort of tribal royalty, and he's got multiple wives. So it's the same father but different mothers.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is the same mother.
Yeah, he's one of
Wow.
55.
That's
Okay.
blimey, O'Reilly. Just I thought you'd be interested.
So Christmas
Just run
must be
silent
bloody
on that one.
expensive.
Okay, fact number 4. The US Navy uses Xbox controllers for the submarine
Yeah.
periscope.
I knew that.
Just to control that.
They designed one. So I read about that as well. So they designed something and it cost millions. And then they realized that actually, if you just use an Xbox controller, you're right there, Dom.
Yeah.
Rubber ducky. So, yeah. And apparently the Xbox controller does the same job. And it costs like $20.
And speaking of morons, have you heard about another billionaire that wants to take a submarine down to the depths of Titanic?
Just watch the film.
Where the Titanic
Just watch the film. Be done with it. Can't be doing with any more drama.
And that was controlled. It was a Logitech controller that did the. Well, I can't remember what the one that imploded was called now off the top of my head. What was it called?
I don't know. I can't remember. Either way, what is the point?
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but just watch a documentary. You've already had people I'm being serious. Like, you can go to YouTube. What difference does it make? You've got so much glass between you and that bit of ocean anyway. What difference does it make? If that's what you want to see, watch a documentary. You get a lot more detail. I just don't understand.
Yeah, what's Blue Planet?
Someone's got. Yes, watch Blue Planet. Exactly.
Honestly, I don't understand. I just don't get it. Sorry.
Do pay attention. Fact number 5: skin cells self-destruct to save your life. Stop becoming cancer cells, which is why you turn red in the sun.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
So they are literally self-destructing.
Wow. Go back to the periscope now.
Yeah. Too many noises.
You like that noise?
Well, that's just the scene from Shrek, isn't it? Where Donkey's in the carriage and he's just like, "Am I being annoying?"
Forgotten about that.
I don't know if it's coming through on Fiona's speakers when I go.
It is, but it's coming through like 18 seconds after you make the noise.
Oh, yeah, I can hear that.
It's true.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh dear. Fact number 6: an albatross can go years without landing. Speaking of Blue Planet.
It's a record like
So
3
it
years
just
or
makes me
something.
laugh. It just reminds me of a joke that my stepfather used to tell. It's like, why is it when an
Well, you've got to tell us
albatross
now.
flies away from the sun, it has a wingspan of 30 feet? And when it flies towards the sun, it has a wingspan of 15 feet. When it's flying towards the sun, it's going like this.
Oh, very good. Very good.
That is great. That's brilliant.
Really,
For those on
stupid joke,
audio,
yeah.
for those on audio, you'll have to come over to our YouTube channel to watch that joke in all of its glory.
Timestamp.
Timestamp. I don't know what it will be. An hour 35, something like that. Fact number 7. Yeah, 7. In the year 2000, Japan voted something as their greatest invention. What do you think that was?
Tamagotchi.
No, that was number 3. I do actually know that was number
Are
3.
you serious?
Oh,
The bullet train?
sushi.
It is food, but it's not sushi.
Ramen noodles.
It is noodles. It's instant noodles was
Ah,
voted as
instant
the greatest
noodles.
invention in
There
the
you go.
year 2000.
Wow.
Number 2, just as a curiosity,
I'll go with that.
what do you reckon number 2 is?
Go on.
Is it food? No, it's not
No,
food.
it's not food. It's an activity.
Motorbike. Oh,
Ninja Warrior.
I'll give you a clue. You'd have a
Oh,
microphone.
karaoke.
oh, karaoke.
Karaoke is number 2.
Wow.
Karaoke.
Okay.
I feel sorry for Fiona. She's got such a lag at the moment compared to me and Jerry. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. Last 3 facts. So there are 300 people in cryogenic chambers
I thought it'd be more
in the world.
Actually.
I thought it'd be more. How many people? I don't know how many of them are actually alive. And the last two, I think will blow your socks off. Bill Gates, at the age of 13, hacked the school files so that he could meet girls.
Oh, what? That doesn't surprise me.
And then the best bit. Do you remember? And you might the like short video they used to play at the beginning of like DVDs, and it would go, "You wouldn't steal a car." Right.
Mm.
Did you know the theme tune for that was pirated, and no royalties have been paid to the original owner of
You
that
are
theme tune, despite it
joking.
being
You couldn't make.
No.
You just couldn't make that up. Oh, I know that was the most irritating thing because you couldn't skip them either. So you used to get the DVD from Blockbusters, and as soon as you put the DVD
Yeah.
into the player, it would kick off with this, and you couldn't fast forward it. You couldn't skip it, and you had to just sit there going, "You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't break into somebody's house." It's like, yeah, okay, we get the picture. Like, it just went through that pretty much.
wouldn't download a car.
It's just. Have you seen the IT Crowd version of that? If you go to
probably.
YouTube, you type in IT Crowd video piracy. Watch that video. It's hilarious. They take it too far, and it's absolutely hilarious.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
You're saying, talking about films. You'd be proud of me.
You watched the film.
I've actually, so I got a year's Disney, free Disney Plus with my mobile phone contract.
Oh wow!
So I've actually been watching loads of films.
I am
I
definitely
know.
proud of
Me
you. I
watching
am proud of
films,
you,
right?
Fiona. I'm proud of you. I am proud of you, genuinely.
But one of them, and I'm sure you'll have seen it. Have you seen Kingsman
Yeah,
with Colin Firth?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, that film made me laugh out loud. That was
That's a
just
very good.
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've got to watch it again. I was literally laughing my head off. It's just brilliant. I love
you should
it.
watch the sequel
Especially
as
at the end when they start playing Land of Hope and Glory. It was just
Yeah.
superb. Yeah.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I've
Well-
watched probably about 20 odd films since I've had it. So,
well. Nice. That's more than your whole lifetime.
You have to join us for the movie review.
yeah, pretty much.
You have to join us for Stevie T and do the movie review. Well, I think we've actually run out of topics. I think today, a bit of a higgledy piggledy one, but we can always blame Jerry for today.
Take the blame. I'll take the blame.
We shall have to get you on in person eventually, Fiona. You'll have to come and do a podcast with us when we start doing them in person and things like that, which I think is on the cards for myself and Jerry to do them every now and then. What are your final thoughts?
I would say it's lovely to be back again. It's really good to see you both.
Yes, we need to catch up more.
It has been too long. It's great to see you, Fiona. Definitely. You're looking really well, and it's great to have you on the show. On the show? The podcast? The show? I don't know.
Can we call ourselves a show now?
I'm getting ideas about my station now. But there you go.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Your final thoughts, Jerry?
Make sure that you read invitations and emails and messages properly. That's my lesson from the last pod. Thank you. Don?
Well,
no.
I am going to leave you.
No, you are.
No. I'm going to do some fun thoughts. I'm going to leave you. So I got a wonderful gift from Yevgeny when I did this, which, just to put it in a little bit of a somber mood, but I think it just shows the tenacity of people. I got this wonderful book from Yevgeny. It smells lush, by the way. It's something like, it smells great. But this is all about what they do when they lose power, which they still do quite frequently, and yet the internet over in Ukraine is still better than Jerry's. But I just wanted to kind of just mention that I think the fact that we can talk about these things, we can go and visit friends, the holidays that we all have are just fabulous, and that I think we should keep doing them. And tell us about Benidorm. Tell us about the 10K. I'm going to be keeping an eye on your LinkedIn updates, Fiona, and your Facebook updates to see how you're getting on in your training back up there. And Jerry, we need to book you a holiday at some point.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's what we need to do.
Oh, good. Yeah.
We need to book you a holiday. But on that note, thank you very much, folks, for listening, for watching.
Yeah.
Camping trip in Skegney.
Hey, if that's the only option, I'll take it.
That's the only option. Well, on that note, thank you very much, everybody, for watching, for listening. We hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so much, Fiona, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely really appreciate you coming on and being with us.
My pleasure.
And thank you, Jerry, for eventually turning up.
It's nice of me to turn up. I like to turn up fashionably late.
We shall see you all on the next one.
Take care, everyone.